Event. Justin, a minister, youth advocate, and former gang member himself, and Brian, a youth advocate and community activist. Welcome, gentlemen. And we also want to introduce to you Chris McBrayer and Paul Parker, also joining us today, community leaders, both of them. Paul, a former gang member himself, motivational speaker. Gentlemen, welcome to you.
Thanks, man.
Paul, let's start off. You and I spoke earlier this week, getting this off the ground again this year. This is the third time we've done an event like this. Last year, you and I were talking about how Mother Nature didn't help out. The weather, obviously, cooperating this weekend. But despite Mother Nature and what she says and your turnout, the message stays the same, and it's not going away, is it?
Right, yeah. We just want to make a stand against gang violence and bring the community together and show that, you know, we are willing and ready to step up and do our behalf, and you know, we want the city to continue to bring this change in our community.
And the city is on board with what you are doing. I had conversations with officials this week. Talk to us a little bit about, and I don't know if I want to term it the light went off in your head or some type of life change happened for you, obviously. You were a member of a gang here in Toledo, but you decided to move in a different direction. Why?
It was a combination of things and a bit of time. It's been a while since I was active gang member. Say it's probably even been involved in the gang activities, probably since 22, 23. But I didn't decide to have this march and rally and stand against gangs till about 25. And it really was the
How old are you now?
28 years old.
28.
And it really was this association with gangs. Even though I had a different mindset, I didn't want to be involved in gangs and activity no more. There's still that association with gangs. You know, when people see me, they see me as a Crip, even though I didn't have that mindset where I wanted to be out here banging anymore or associated with the friends I hung around with. They was probably still active, you know, so when they get involved with things, I felt like the obligation to help them in certain situations, you know, so.
What activities?
Just fights out, say I'll go out and just going out to the club, trying to have a good time and, you know, have some drinks and, you know, friends might see somebody from another side of town and they get in a fight. And I feel like, you know, this is my friend. I feel a sort of obligation that, you know, I got to jump in and help him, you know. Even though I don't have that mindset where I want to be involved in these type of things, I just feel the obligation to my friends and to my neighborhood that, you know, is something that I have to do.
But there's an outside perspective, this kind of, I guess, violent nature mindset around gangs, correct?
Yes, it is.
And are those some of the activities which you saw happening as a member?
Fights, shooting, and you know, coming up as a teen, it was more of some things we saw it as this fun, you know. You know, I was selling drugs at the time too, so that was mainly what we was doing, was selling drugs, you know, just trying to get money, you know. As a teen, we just wanted money, respect, and women, you know, just like any young man's coming up, you know, and a respect thing was,
Did you ever get busted?
Yeah, I got felonies on my record, you know, but I changed that part of my life as well. But being that, you know, this is what we done, the gang thing was more like a fun activity for us, you know. It's like, you know, just to see proving ourselves and gaining respect and, you know, seeing what side of town is tougher than who, and, you know, that type of thing, you know. And now it has grown overboard. You know, when I was coming up, it was more about the fights, you know.
Okay.
You might have one guy out of the group of 5 or 10 that might have a gun, you know, and when he does have a gun, he does not shoot with the intent to kill or harm, you know, just if we outnumber, if we getting jumped, you know, he's shooting in the air just to clear the crowd, you know. But nowadays, it's like 4 out of 5 has a gun, you know, and they're shooting with the intent to kill nowadays. You know?
What changed that, Brian? I mean, where did it go astray?
I think once.
Not that it ever went right. I don't want to make it sound like it was a good path.
This isn't something that happened overnight.
Yeah.
This is something.
But is it worse today? I've had city officials on here. I've had police officers who have said they feel it's bad right now.
It's really bad. If you take a city like Chicago, who averaged 50 murders a month last year, that's 50 people, you know, that's being killed. That's somebody's mother, somebody's brother, somebody's father, because it's not only just males is being targeted now. you have females and kids that's being targeted. We can't forget the Fannie Mae Smiths, the Ricole Hills, who weren't gang members, who was a grandmother sitting in her home, shot through her window. Ricole Hill getting out of her car,
Right.
caught in the crossfire due to gang violence. You know,
And the Hooks girls at Moody Man.
right? You know, little young babies like that. You know, the issue at hand, and we were just talking about this. You have to go back almost to the 70s when the black family had two parents in the home, and things started to change where that father figure was removed from the home, and now you have a single parent mother trying to raise young girls and young boys, and she can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Without that father figure in the home, there's no clear direction as far as teaching a young man how to be a man. So he has to go out on his own. I lost my dad at the age of 2. Mm-hmm. You know, he passed away. A lot of things I learned on my own. You know, I was never in a gang, but I did associate with people that were in the gang.
Yeah.
I have sold drugs. You know, it's not something I'm proud of. And like I explained to them, I had to learn from my mistakes because I didn't truly have a role model.
But is that a badge? Is that a badge of honor, I guess, as part of growing up that we're seeing right now in the Toledo community? That's just a rite of passage. That has to happen.
No,
it does not.
No. Because if you look at take a Caucasian family, at their dinner table, they're probably discussing education, stocks and bonds, how to prepare for their future. Where not in every black household, so I want to make sure that's clear.
Yeah.
But a lot of the talk is around things that happen in the community. The next pair of Jordans that's coming out. You know, we're not preparing our kids for the future in the sense that morally we have to take a step back and correct the ship that has gone wrong.
Yeah, but I see this more, and obviously the effects of this gang situation, you see it in the inner cities, and I take what you're saying with a grain of salt just because there are issues all around.
There are issues.
And I appreciate that. But obviously, and you said something that struck me as far as there was that shooting off in the air is trying to, now there's kind of a shooting off as far as killing is one of those things that the gang mentality right now is it just happens. Right. But where has it gone violent, I guess?
We just lost it. I mean, that's just to be honest, we just lost it.
What do you mean by that? Just lost it?
It was once a time where they shot in the air just to clear the crowd, but now the motivation that they have to do it is just totally lost. Like you can pay a kid $200 just to kill somebody, and that's what's happening. Like, so they've lost it, and it goes back.
Yes.
And it goes back to what Paul said.
You're talking about taking out hits.
Yeah, we talk about to put $200 on someone's head, literally. Like Paul said.
Fellow gang members?
Yes.
Or just anybody?
Yes, but it's more so gang. More so gang.
Okay. That's what I say. Like the value of life went down. Like these kids out there, I mean, they're struggling. You know, they don't have the money. You know, so if you give me enough money to pay my phone bill, give me a new pair of Jordans, and you know, and just put some money in my pocket, I'm willing to do whatever for you now. So if you need somebody harmed or hurt, I'm willing to do that because you're the only one providing for me. So I got that loyalty towards you. But going back on what Brian said in the 70s, it was like that, and it's been a massive change, you know, and it's within the community. We had community policing back then. You know, you knew the cops that patrol your neighborhood. Now the cops come in and patrol our neighborhood. It's like, I put it like the war in Iraq. You know, they come in this foreign land with foreign people, and they don't know how to deal with these people. They come in our communities, we're foreigners to them. You know, they wasn't raised in these communities. They aren't familiar with these communities, so they look at us as we're.
I got it, but I think that's an all-encompassing statement that may not be fair for all officers, because I know I've had officers sitting exactly where I am who have said they are starting to see the names of individuals that they've known. They know their parents, that kind of thing, and these individuals are ending up dead because of the gang violence. So I mean, I don't want to put that out there, and I don't think you mean to say that all officers are turning a blind eye to those communities.
It's a majority of it. It's a majority.
You think so?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so. I was labeled as a gang member and drug dealer before I even touched a drug or word flag. I have
Because of where you
numerous,
grew up?
just because of where I was at, because I was in drug-infested neighborhood. They looked at me as a teen, troubled teen. You know, I had lauderings upon lauderings before I even had a drug case or anything. You know, they had it right about me. I did end up going that path, but it's a lot of other kids, you know, and that grew up with me that has lauderings in different cases, just from harassment from police, you know. But not to stick on that subject, that's part of the issue, community policing. And just us as a community as a whole, it was, like you said, in the 70s, you can go down the street to your neighbor and tell their kids, hey, man, y'all don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
Go home, you know. But now we're so encaged and imprisoned in our own neighborhoods that we're scared to go down to the streets and tell these kids, hey, man, you don't need to be doing that, you know?
Justin, you've been very patient. I appreciate that. Where has the morality gone for families, for individuals?
Well, like I say, family has now become community. Like it's, you know, kids are coming. I know for myself, that's what drew me to the gangs, for lack of family. Although family was there, it wasn't displayed. And to hit back on you guys saying, how did it get so to where it's so violent now? As you guys were talking, I was thinking, because y'all know it was fun, as Paul said, at 15, 16. But I've been gang banging from 15 to 16 to 18 to 19 to 20. Now it's hatred. And I was for real. So now you go from just want to have fun to where I want to kill somebody now. Now somebody gets bold enough to pull a trigger and shoot at you. Now they shoot at me, so I'm going to ride again. And I end up getting shot myself because of all this hatred. And to piggyback on the family thing now, I think, like he says, the father. You know, a young man a young man wants another man to look up, but a young man wants an older man to look up to.
Is this a windless fight for city leaders and police?
No, I disagree. I totally disagree.
Well, I'm asking a question. I'm not putting a statement out there.
No.
It's not a.
It's not a win-lose.
It's a fight that could be won, but you're looking at generations that you have to overcome. And you know, as I expressed to Chris, we have our own Iraq right here in America.
You agree with that assessment, what he was saying?
Yes, yes.
Foreign land, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that we can pick and choose what we want to address and help in. And what I mean by that, there's no cure, there's no profit in the cure, only in prevention. You know, so we can take federal aid and give it to foreign countries to help them when right in our own backyard we have similar issues. Dealing with it and at this point, to me, it's self-genocide. Black on black crime is one of the worst things in this country that's going on, and it's self-genocide. Until it touches the surrounding communities, I don't think other people are going to jump in and say, hey, we really need to do something about this. It is people that say, hey, we do need to do something about it, but it's like a plague. If it's only affecting one part of the community, they'll do some things to help because they know it'll be an outcry. But until it really affects every living fabric of America, I believe nothing is going to be done until something happens like that.
After the Moody Manor shootings, where we saw one young girl killed, another one injured, we saw the mayor come out, also Police Chief Derek Diggs. I want to play the sound from them right now so you can hear at home. They're taking this hard line here in the city as far as gang members are concerned. Listen, remember.
If you do things the wrong way inside the city of Toledo, we will catch you eventually, and we will put you in jail. That's the bottom line.
The police department will remain focused, will remain firm, and will remain very aggressive towards gun and gang violence in this community.
And I want to come over to you, Chris, because you were nodding, saying when I put out there, is this a winless battle? You say no.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think if we can get those people like the mayor and the police chief to work with us on a real collaborative effort as far as promoting what we're doing today. I mean, just to think if we had the police, those who support the police will go out, will come and support what we're doing today. Or those who support the mayor will come out and support what we're doing today. And that's just not an inner city thing, that's a whole citywide thing. Whoever supports the mayor, whoever supports the police department, if they just got behind their back and saying that we were working
Whoever
together.
supports their community.
Yeah,
really, right?
most definitely. But more in particular, those who are making statements that in that political realm like that. I definitely just I urge for us as a community to just come out tonight, today, this evening, to just to stand and march with us and just show that we as a community cares about our children.
Once again, this event happening at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to continue our conversation on the other side of this break. Stay with us here on the Roundtable.
Hi, I'm Tony Gepton.